He was the son of Hardtack, sired by the mighty Man-O-War, but the breeding did little to impress anyone at Claiborne Farms.
Get rid of him.
At 6 months, he was shipped off to train with the legendary trainer Sonny Fitzsimmons, who, over time, developed a similar opinion of the colt.
Is that a racehorse or a lead pony?
The judgment wasn't helped by his gentle nature. Where his sire had been a fierce, almost violent competitor, Seabiscuit took to sleeping for huge chunks of the day and enjoyed lolling for hours under the boughs of the juniper trees. His other great talent was eating. Though half the size of other colts, Seabiscuit could frequently eat twice as much. Fitzsimmons decided the horse was lazy and felt sure he could train the obstinance out of him.
I want you to hit him as many times as you can over a quarter of a mile.
When he didn't improve, they decided the colt was incorrigible. They made him a training partner to better horses, forcing him to lose head-to-head duels to boost the confidence of the other animal. By the time he was 3 years old, Seabiscuit was struggling in 2 cheap claiming races a week. And soon he grew as bitter and angry as his sire Hardtack had been. He was sold for the rock-bottom price of $2,000. And of course, it all made sense. Champions were large, they were sleek, they were without imperfection. When they finally did race him, he did just what they had trained him to do. He lost.
Because, you know, we say we don't learn just from experience, but from evaluated experience. And some of those experiences are good and some of them are bad. You know, we don't learn from them our mistakes. And the thing is, for me, is I know that from the wound standpoint, that I would never intentionally want to wound my son. But here's the deal. I will. It might be unintentional, and it might be that I'm not even aware of the situation and the way that it comes out. Some guys say, well, you're just being a guy. Come on, you can't baby him. You know what? You don't know what some of those things do. And some of those things, through the stories that we've heard, have stayed with men all of their lives. And it's shaped their lives. And so when we talk about the wound, it's essential, because the thing is that operating in that wound or our reaction to the wound has created this false identity for most of us that we're living in. We try to be everything to everyone, and you're just not capable. And what happens is if you're not, I won't say recognized, but if there's not an observation of you operating in some giftings and moving through life, whether you have, you know, through the good times and the bad, if your heart is not handled well in those deals, you could just give up.
Got spirit.
I'll say.
Can he be ridden? Oh, sure. Eventually. He can be a little touchy.
Yeah, I got it.
No, really.
I'm fine. Of course, it's nuts.
And I know people that have given up, and they'll sit there and say, you know what? Everything I do is just messed up. And it doesn't matter if I'm great, if I try to be a good student or a good boy or a good husband, that I'm still catching heck for everything, every way I do, every way I turn. I try to do things right at church, you know, and they knock me down, or, you know, I want to be an integral part of something, because everybody Everybody wants this relational connection, no matter what it is. But the thing is you get knocked down a few times, you'll just quit trying. And so what happens is you wind up living a different script for your life. And it doesn't matter what script that is. It's just anything that doesn't take you back to that script that you've experienced that caused you pain. And over and over and over again, I've seen it happen. And as we go around, and maybe some guys will share some things, and sometimes it's father wounds, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just some brokenheartedness and some circumstantial things that have had a lasting impression on them that they did not know how to process, either as a young man or as an old man. So the deal is I believe this: when it comes to the wound, we don't just open it up just to let the thing fester and say, great, here I am, I'm Wile E. Coyote on the limb sawing, and I'm on the wrong end of it. There's a process of healing the wound, inviting God into that thing, renouncing some of those beliefs that we've made, those agreements that we've made, because I believe that's true. We sit there and you hear people that talk negatively about themselves, and some of them have been doing it for so long they don't even know they're doing it anymore. You know, we show a scene from the movie Seabiscuit. It's about a horse that has been, you know, they had high aspirations of it. Turned out kind of wasn't a good racehorse, so to speak. And so they trained him to train other horses to lose. Trained him to lose. And they just said that the horse was incorrigible and really wasn't good for anything. And then this other guy bought it. And the trainer looked at him and they let him run, and he was running in every direction. Said, yeah, he's fast. He's running in every direction. The guy says,
He just needs to learn how to be a horse again.
Well, how do you do that?
How far do you want me to take him?
Till he stops.
Okay. That seems like a pretty good ride.
Hope so.
I think that's the story of a lot of people. You know, they've gotten so used to operating underneath in this false identity that is really far away from their heart. That's why we go to the wound. And for me, it has provided some healing to help me understand why I am the way I am and why I react the way that I react. And every time, and the thing is the more I go into it, the more freedom I get. And when I sit there and something checks my heart or really ticks me off, and if I feel anger or something coming up in me, I'm like, man, what's that about? Where did that come from? You know, I mean, for some people, it can be something as simple as someone cutting you off on the highway and you're ready to, you know, shoot them. You know, I mean, there's silly stuff. What makes a man do stuff like that, really? It wasn't that. There's more beneath the surface. So when we talk about the wound, it is our approach to allowing folks to go a little bit deeper and say, well, what's really going on here? And Lord, you know what? We need you to come into this place of woundedness in our heart, because you know what? I can't fix it. I need you to fix it.